Hello! Welcome to Channeling Your Inner Top Speaker. My name is Azja Butler. I love speaking. I love debate. I love winning. Winning is great, super fun and fresh. I'm very expert at it. That does not mean I didn't lose. Obviously, that would be unreasonable. But I do like winning, and I like talking, if you couldn't tell. Also love hearing myself talk. Honestly, rule number one. There she is, Lynn Clara. Love to see it. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about channeling your inner top speaker. Azja, why are you qualified to talk about this? Well, if you must know, Google me. But also, I have debated for about 7 years. Avi?
Yes.
Slay, 1 second. Let me message to make sure you're good. You're good. Avi, here, all good and hood. Okay. So, why should you declare qualified? I have been debating or did debate for about 7 years. I love to debate to death. I debated in high school and I debated in college at the University of Kansas. Rock Chalk. Talk to me about it on college night. It's lit. But also, I was the first black woman to be crowned, if you will, top speaker at the national debate tournament at the college level. We love to see it. I've coached several other top speakers. I coached the top speaker at the Glenbrook tournament, well, the top 2 speakers at the Glenbrook tournament for 2 years in a row. I think it was like 2020, 2021. Also Google me, or tab room check, because you kids love doing that shit. So, amazing. But I know a little something about how to speak. I know this because I was also coached by people who were very good speakers and who cared a lot about it. And so, alas, here we are. Rule number 1, speaking is hard. If you do not practice it in a debate context, you will not improve. So many people think that speaking in debate or just knowing the things or cutting all of the right cards is enough. It's not. Speaking, especially in debate, is hard. But more than that, speaking in a way that is persuasive and gets other people to feel like they are on your team and in agreement with you is very hard. It is something that takes a lot of practice. I guarantee you, pinky swear on Jesus, I was not getting top speaker awards at 14 or 15 or 16 or 18, 19, insert 20. Okay. It doesn't mean that I wasn't good. Please, the winning did happen here and there. But it does mean that it takes practice. Anyone who tells you otherwise or who are just like, I was a natural at this, lying through their teeth. Okay? It takes practice. So a couple of things that I want to cover today is 1, drilling. How frequently you should do it. What are the best drills to do? Why drill in the first place? The other thing I want to sort of cover is posture, how to speak well. And then also how to walk and talk like a winner. Difficult, also takes practice. Okay, if you can't tell, I love myself. Because at the end of the day, you are all in an activity, especially for those of you that are of a minority group or women, what have you, okay? It is hard to be in an activity where sometimes people are going to be haters, okay? Too bad your internal motivations are stronger than their hate, okay? They hate us because they ain't us, okay? So, also, side note, I have ADHD, so if you have a question, ask me, because I'll forget and you'll forget, and it's a whole thing. So just ask me when you think of it instead of waiting. Because also, I talk a lot, insert top speaker lecture, so we might not have time at the end. So just let it flow. Okay, drilling 101. How frequently should you drill? Thoughts?
Every day.
Every day? Damn! Y'all are grinding harder than me, and you're not getting top speaker awards? Oh my god, what are we doing? Okay. Asian's like, Asia, Jesus. No, okay. Frequently, I agree. Okay? Every day is a little bit aggressive. I recognize that you all have lives, you have school assignments, okay? Mom's making you take out the trash, even though that's a brother job. I don't know. Fine. But I'm hearing you. Life is hard. It's a lot. You have AP tests, okay? You're keeping people out of your room. I don't know. Dealing with your mental health. I love that for you. But frequently, you should be speaking. Azja, why fight with my mom all the time? Not the same thing. Why, might you ask? Answer from the crowd.
They're not going 350 words per minute.
You're not spreading. Debate requires a very specific type of speech. Not always. I say require sort of aggressively there. But debate obviously comes in a lot of different packaging, a lot of different styles. Not everyone has to spread to be excellent. Okay? Debate should be more about efficiency rather than physical speed or words per minute. But you should be practicing your debate talk and how you talk in debate. What I recommend in this regard is that I think drilling the week of a tournament every day, good. Anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes a day leading up to a tournament. Week of. Why? Because you're already probably tweaking about the tournament anyway, because you're like, oh, I told my team I would cut this diss ad, and so now you're wigging. So it's a great way to, break up the monotony of all this frantic card cutting that you're doing. But you should drill frequently. Rule number 1.2 of drilling well and drilling frequently, okay, is practicing like you play. Okay? Don't stop in the middle. Don't try to be perfect as you start. Don't worry about people listening to you. Don't care about like, oh, I'm the only one drilling. Okay, well, you'll be the only one winning. I don't know why we're ashamed of that. I'm confused. Well, no one else is winning. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. So, except I did say rule 1.2. So you're hearing what I'm saying. However, you should be drilling. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. It doesn't matter. It's like, well, they sound amazing and they never drill. Lie. They sound like poop. I pinky swear. All the judges are just like, Jesus, this kid sounds like, not great. As a vacuum cleaner. I said that last year. Mark it. But it's a lot. What are the best drills to do? Thoughts?
Over-enunciation.
Over-enunciation. Capitalize it, underline it, bold it, whatever. Put it in a different color. Like you do when you're highlighting. Like when you do that cringe highlighting that's like rainbow letters or font or whatever. But indicate it, star it, emojis, whatever. Over-enunciation. What do we think that means? AJ, you were in my lab last year. How does it go?
You talk, but you make sure that you move your mouth a lot to make sure that you understand what you're saying.
Facts. Move your mouth around the words. AJ, is it gonna feel natural?
No,
No. It's probably gonna hurt right here a little bit. Why?
because you're not used to that.
Because you're not used to talking like that. You're not talking to your mom and being like, you'll never believe what happened today in AP Chem. No one's doing that shit, okay? It's intense. Why is it good to over-enunciate or do the over-enunciation drill? See it?
Overcorrection, like when you're trying to go faster, it's just muscle memory.
Yes, overcorrects for you slurring your words or you not opening your mouth very wide, and it creates muscle memory. It helps your mouth, your muscles worry more about accuracy of the words instead of just getting something out into the air. It will make you clearer. Speaking at that high of a speed when you're just starting sounds a lot like rolling your R's most of the time. Like all of you basically just sound like this. Ew. I'm hearing no warrants, no cards, nothing. So over-enunciation helps you with clarity, muscle memory, and training your mouth to open up. Why else is it good for your mouth to open up aside from clarity? Projection, volume. Dude, Asia was yelling at us this morning. I agree. I don't know why everyone's whispering. I love telling people I'm a winner. I also love winning at a very loud volume so no one can forget. I mean, all of my shit is also recorded, so again, Google me. But just like, no one's forgetting that I was here, what I said, what's going on. Everyone's just like, oh my God, why is she so loud? Because I like to win. And I don't want there to be any confusion about what I said. So in that post round, when you're like, I don't know, maybe I just didn't hear you. I know you heard me because I was speaking at this volume over the Zoom. So like, there's no, oh, I just couldn't hear you, or she was so mousy. No one's saying that about Asia ever. Okay? It's not happening. Not a thing. Opening your mouth up means that you get more out in volume, in words, in spirit. Okay? Very important. A second drill that also helps with this, if you were really bad at over-enunciation, not to at my lab, but like my lab a little bit because they were struggling, is that pen in mouth. It sucks. It looks like this. Slavery is bad as a lot. Okay. They're fine. They'll be okay. A lot of you have been conditioned by the social norms of debate and the social demands of debate. I get it. I've been there. That it is more about how fast you are. And more importantly than that, socially, you've been told that you need to sound like someone else. Wrong. They're losers. Why would I want to sound like a loser? Incorrect. Asia, that's so harsh. I don't care, because it is an equally harsh expectation on all of you who come from different backgrounds, different teams, different cultures, different values, to all sound the same. Why would you want to sound like someone else? No, hate that. Okay? So if you're struggling with over-enunciation, a good accountability measure is pen in mouth. Because if you stick a pen in your mouth, like a bridle, whatever, not to, expose my 11-year-old horse girl or whatever, but like, pen in mouth, okay? It forces you to have to literally move your tongue in a different way, move around the words, say them clearly. The goal of pen in mouth is, again, not to be quick. It is that if someone was listening to me do the drill, they would be able to understand every single thing that I said, even though there is literally an object blocking mouth hole. Okay? Asia, that's gross. Pick a pen, never use another one again. I'm sorry, you've lost one Bic. R.I.P. Also think about projection with pen and mouth. It is hard to talk when your mouth is obstructed. So the clearer and the louder you can be when you are doing that, the better you will be when you are speaking normally. It will also probably pain your jaw a little bit right here and a little bit right here. Normal, because you are creating muscle memory. The next drill is backwards. What do I mean by this? You start at the bottom of the doc, scroll all the way to the bottom. And you read from the very last word all the way up to the doc, backwards. Why might this be valuable? Yes?
It helps practice with, like, when you're reading a new document, but just also disconnecting your brain from the words. You're just reading the words.
Facts. It helps with the document. So it's helpful for you getting, used to a new document. You're not worried about, stumbling and all the things. You're naturally going to try to read things in a regular sentence. So if you're reading a new doc, your brain is going to naturally string phrases together. You might skip words or add words that aren't there, which is inefficient because you're adding shit, or unethical because you're taking stuff out because you're trying to get through it as fast as possible. It helps your mind link up with your brain or with your mouth. Okay? It syncs them, like iPad to charger, like iPad to Wi-Fi. Hip with the kids.
I use Android.
Fair enough. Android to Wi-Fi, same concept. Yes.
I go a lot slower when I'm reading backwards. Is that normal or is it like?
If you take anything away from this lecture, when you were drilling, it is not about being the fastest. It is about being the most accurate. Why might that be important? Someone who's not AJ or my other children. Why is accuracy more important than speed? Yes.
Because if you're not clear, it doesn't matter how fast you're saying it.
Facts! If you're not clear, it doesn't matter how fast you're going. No judge has a words per minute timer that's like, damn. They went 800 syllables, because you're not saying words, I promise, per second. I'm so impressed. No one's doing that. Okay? So whenever I hear kids be like, dude, you only speak like 100 words per minute. Where's your timer? Where's your receipts? Also, do you know how many ballots I'm getting per minute? Irrelevant, because debates are longer, but I'm getting a lot of ballots. I'm getting a lot of wins. I'm getting a lot of W's. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Backwards helps sync your brain with your mouth. Very helpful. So now you're over-enunciating, you're saying the words fully, you're also not inserting words or taking words out, so you're not clipping, and you're not being less efficient by adding a bunch of words like and the and whatever and repeating words, because you were actually reading the doc while you're reading the doc. Another good drill for this about accuracy is insert a word. What's the last word that we picked? Someone from my lab. I don't remember. Strawberry? Was that you? Who picked that word?
It was Michael.
Michael.
Michael won. He is Michael 1 today. Heard. We have 2 Michaels. It's a whole thing. You'll understand. But it's a lot. Anyways, pick a word. Insert it between every single word in the doc. So if I'm reading my notes doc right now, channeling strawberry, your strawberry, inner strawberry, top strawberry, speaker strawberry, drilling strawberry, 101 strawberry, so on and so forth. Azja, I'm going so slow. I know. It's about accuracy. Eventually you will pick up speed. It's like a tongue twister. So many of you are worried about getting to the end result immediately that you are not focusing on doing the process correctly and you are getting worse. I promise you, oh my God, if I could just, I promise, okay? Just because you do not sound like somebody now does not mean that you are not going to win as many debates or that you are less like you deserve to be there less. It just means that you actually care about the process of improving and you're actually doing the work. Last thing, redos are speaking drills. Do them. Why?
You're practicing speaking like in the context of debate. Like it's one thing to just read off an argument, but it's another thing to like practice formulating arguments in your head and like speaking them as if you were being correct.
Right. Only one of the speeches that you will give in any given debate is a speech that is just tags and cards. Every other speech is going to be off the flow, reading blocks, and incorporating cards and integrating and layering all of those things together. Which means that if you were only ever drilling by reading a card doc, you're also not improving. So a lot of these people, yeah, I would get super fast too if I was reading the same doc over and over and over and over again every day and reading my blocks over and over and over again every day like a robot. Redos are just as important, if not more important, than drilling and should be viewed as speaking drills. A lot of students, when I hear them talk about speaking drills, are like, yeah, I like drill for like 15 minutes today. I'm like, okay, so what? You read a card doc? That's not debating. That's just reading cards. Unfortunately, some people think that's debating. Ugh, whatever, I don't make the rules. But unfortunately for them, not the case. You should be trying to do redos as frequently as you were trying to do drills. Okay? So I'm not saying you need to do a redo every single day, but I would try to do at least 2 redos per tournament. So you get back from a tournament, you've given at least 3 2ARs, 3 2NRs, whatever position that you are, okay? So you have at least 3 speeches to choose from. I would maybe even pick like, okay, 1 2NC or 1 2AC I would re-give, 1 2AR, 1 2NR I would re-give. One of each, because each of those speeches is different in style and execution. But you come back from a tournament, pick whichever one of those. Usually what I tell students is pick whatever one that you lost, because obviously needs redo, and go from there. Well, Azja, I didn't lose any of mine. Awesome, I love that for you. Do you give a 1AR? Do you give a 1NR? The 1NR, very hard speech and debate, I'm sorry. But give redos. At least 2 post every tournament you go to. Very helpful. Your coach will be like, oh my God. You want to win? Yes! Because I'm a winner. I'll get to that in a second. I've already said this, but I'll say it again because, very important, major key, majorest of keys, if you will. When it comes to drilling, but also just in debate, it is always clarity over speed. Every single time. A sub-point of that is that debate in and of itself is not about physical speed, it is about efficiency. It is about strategy, making choices. How can I most efficiently talk about an argument, or how can I speak about an argument in such a way that it allows for me to also do the rest of my job? It is not about physically trying to do every single thing as fast as possible. Okay? Very common misconception. It results in worse speaks, worse strategy, which equals also worse speaks, and also more stress because you are trying your hardest and exhausting yourself trying to do more than what is actually required of you. And also sounding like shit while doing it. I hate that. The physical components of being a top speaker. So, second subset of objectives. We've already kind of covered this with over-enunciation. But remember, you're not telling a secret, okay? I'm not, telling Lucia, like, oh my God, the just said Elway's insurance case. Okay? I'm debating. I'm establishing presence. You need to open your mouth up. A lot of you spread like this. Like that whole, very little. Open up your mouth. More volume, more cadence, more swag will come out that way. More efficiently too, might I add, because more space to exit. Open up your mouth. Posture and stand height are also very, very important when speaking. How many of you have one of the little table toes? Slay. Most of you set your table toe up at the one leg height and are leading and speaking like this. Why is that bad, AJ?
Because you can't speak into your computer.
First of all, facts. Stop speaking into your computer. Cringe. Okay? If I'm in an elim and I'm doing this, I'm trying to win this debate, and I'm not clear, okay? And I'm not looking at you, and I'm kind of tweaking out, and you see my hand shaking like this. Do I look like I deserve to win?
No.
Does it look like I've won before? No! Respectfully, you look corny. Okay? Because you're worried about looking like other people, because I know a lot of people, unfortunately, that have somehow won a bunch of debates looking like that. So, alas. But don't do that. You should set your stand-up. Take the time to be prepared and to know what you need. So, I was about to be like, someone give me the computer, but I have mine sitting right here. When you're setting up your stand, your goal is to have the computer about this height, parallel to your chin. Like center of screen, parallel to chin. Why?
Because then you can speak out loud, but also if you see.
I can see every single one of you at any given point. I can make eye contact with each with my computer here. I can make eye contact with Ella. I can look at Elliot. I can turn and rotate my body. But also, it's not immediately in front of me either. It's a little bit crooked like this. Usually your judge will be in one place. So I'd have computer here. I can scan room, but I want the judge right here. Because now the judge and my computer are two different looking points that I have. Right? So stand would be like right here, screen parallel. I can see hear everyone, and also look at my judge and make eye contact. Right? Eye contact, second major component of the physicality of being a winner. Connect with your judge, whether that be through eye contact, anecdotes, jokes. Listen to the sound of my voice, what have you. Your posture is a big part of that. Walking and talking like a winner. Winning and losing with grace. All of those, major key. I'll explain those in more detail in a second. But when it comes to posture, again, other disad to you all speaking like this is that you're cutting off, for the sake of demonstrating to the people at home, I guess. Drop on the floor. Cutting off your diaphragm. You cannot breathe like this. Where should you be breathing from? Your diaphragm, base of your gut. Eachin's got it. He's demonstrating in the corner. Everyone, take a really deep breath through your nose. Your stomach should be expanding. And you should feel it come from the bottom of your soul up through your throat. Okay? That's what it should feel like. Exhale through your mouth. Breathing through your diaphragm. It is very awkward. Okay? Because you're not usually breathing like that. A lot of you are just breathing in through your nose or in through your mouth and out through your mouth. All of it just sits right here. It comes in really quick. It only stays shallow right at the top of your lungs. And it comes right back out again. Inefficient. That's why a lot of you spread like this. Don't pass out in front of me. It's going to piss me off because now I have to call the ambulance. And also people are looking at me funny because a child passed out in a black woman's debate. And that makes me upset. Don't do that. It's a lot. Very stressful. Be intentional about your breath. The more shallow your breath, the more inefficient you will sound. And be, not just sound. Your posture also communicates confidence. If I'm standing like here, the dissat outweighs in Turn's case. And also, you were winning on uniqueness. No, it's a lot. Asia, why do that? I'm not making fun of you. I'm saying it's something to practice. So when you're drilling, you also need to think about, how do I want to carry myself? And I'm not talking in like a corny, respectable way, but it's just like when I get up to speak, like I remember like there was like, and you can probably see me do it in videos too, where it's just like, you see me take kind of like a deep breath and I'll be like, and I kind of like look at what's like in front of my face and I'll be like, all right, hold that breath. And then I'd exhale and begin, right? Like I get into a headspace of like, my posture is good. My mind is good. I know my argument. I know that I know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if they say I'm wrong because it's debate. They're going to always say that you're wrong. It doesn't mean you're missing something. It doesn't mean you're bad. It's debate. They're always going to respond. So that should not faze you when it comes to establishing your confidence in your stance and who you are and how you carry yourself. Keeping your stand at a good height prevents slouching, leaning. Do not lean on the table or the stand. One, it will knock it over. It'll break your laptop. I'll never forget. I knocked my laptop off my stand. Very embarrassing. It was fine, but very embarrassing. Okay? Don't lean. Doesn't project confidence. Also makes you look like you don't want to be there or you're lazy or you don't whatever. That doesn't mean you are lazy. It just means that people have a lot of preconceived notions about respectability and, you know, who deserves to be where. I'm sure a lot of you judge in front of parents or grandparents or what have you in the LD, the puff, and the like regular policy debate. If you're leaning like this and you're also dressed in regular clothes, I'm sure they were just like,
This is so not professional. But downvoted because she needs to get some type of class.
I agree. Unfortunate. It happens to all of us, the best of us, if you will. It is also an ideal height for viewing your flows. How many of you flow on paper? Great! I love that for you. Thank God, because debate was dying a couple days ago. Jesus, everyone's like, I flow on my computer. Yeah, chat, I'm talking to you. Jesus. Well, Michigan said, fine, whatever. You can pay them the money so they can, you know, validate you flowing on your computer. But whatever, that's fine. Personally, I like flowing on paper a lot better because you can visualize the arguments. I can visualize it on my computer. Fine, I hope it doesn't die. RIP. But if you are flowing on paper, having your stand at that height is also good for that reason. So you can see your handwriting. You're not leaning in and being like, oh, F, what does that say? Okay? Another drill that you can do to help practice your breathing and the efficiency of your breathing is I would encourage you to take a really deep breath, like the one that we practiced a while ago. I would have a doc open, take a deep breath like we practiced, and then I would see how many words I can read without having to take another breath, and see how far you get in a certain card or in a block. Asia, what does that do? Well, the more you practice your breathing, you might be able to get a little bit farther. I'm not saying you should strain yourself, but what that teaches you about your own breath and about your own speaking and ability, right, is, okay, this is about how long I can go before I need to take another breath. So you're also not doing that cringe thing that kids do nowadays where they're finally breathing, where they're like, they sound like this because they're trying to get out one last word before they have to breathe again. Embarrassing and inefficient and scary when you're a judge flowing with only like 1/2 of a cup of coffee in the morning, okay? No one wants to hear that, okay? Period. Exactly. Okay, any questions about the physical logistics of speaking well and practicing? Yes.
I know you said you do like 15 to 20 minutes of drills every day for like the week leading up to the tournament.
Sure.
And you gave like a bunch of drills. How should we like split up that 15 to 20
Great question. I would encourage the following. 5 minutes over enunciation. Honestly, because I'm, you know, not a fascist, but I'm very particular. I would even say 10 minutes of over enunciation, okay, depending on what you're working on. So if you're like, I'm really bad at being clear, I would say 10 minutes of over enunciation, 5 minutes of backwards, and 5 minutes of spreading normally while prioritizing clarity over speed. Okay? If you think you're good at being clear and you just need to get some reps in, I would say 5 minutes of over enunciation, 5 minutes of backwards or insert a word or whatever, and 10 minutes of regular spreading, prioritizing clarity over speed. that combination, I think universally works every time. It's easy, doesn't always require pen, obviously. And it's something that you can just like always be practicing. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the game, you can always do an over enunciation drill. It keeps your mouth fresh, keeps your muscles intact, and it keeps you, warmed up. Azja, I don't have a lot of time to spread like during the week. Totally cool. Make sure you are drilling the morning of your tournament. Wait while you're waiting for the pairing, when your coach gets you there an hour early because of breakfast or because they want to or they're running tab or whatever. Do a drill in the morning. At least 15 minutes, 5 of each of those things that I described. Warm yourself up, never go in cold, ever. You're not gonna play a volleyball game or track or whatever without warming up your muscles, you're just not. Same thing applies to debate. And I played a lot of sports, which is why I understand it this way. Yes?
Let's say it's like pre-season and there's not a lot of reviews that you can really give. Do you have any tips on like getting used to giving certain speeches? Like giving the 2AC but like off the flow?
Sure. So I would maybe just like ask coach, be like, hey, can you put together 1 NC versus my AF that I'm working on? Hey teammate, you're also prepping for same topic. Can you put together a 1AC or a 2AC versus this next strategy or versus this 1AC so I can give it? Send to coach.
It's gonna be straight from co-op case.
You know what I mean? Also, the more you debate, the more you become familiar with arguments that people read against your things. It's easier for you to develop those things yourself. Obviously, that takes time. Any other questions about the physicality of speaking well and all of the things? Yes.
Talk a little more about like when you're supposed to breathe when you're speaking.
Yeah. So it really just depends on you personally, right? I used to breathe pretty inefficiently, and I found that if I always reminded myself when there was a natural pause in the dock to breathe, I breathed a lot better and more efficiently, less awkwardly, if you will. So, like, reads a couple of cards, breathing, whatever. If I know that I'm about to come up on a breath, right? Or I'm gonna need to breathe soon, instead of spreading through the tag and then having to breathe, like, in the middle of, like, the first sentence of the card, before I start next tag, I'll take a quick breath and be like, and retag. So finding natural pauses in the dock are really helpful. Reminding yourself to breathe and take good, intentional, deep breaths rather than like, and I'm not saying like, but just like intentional breath, right, will always help you be a little bit more efficient because you are actually like giving yourself air, giving yourself breathing time. So you're not feeling out of breath, you're not feeling lightheaded, and you're not sounding wheezy when you talk. So that's honestly my A1 tip is like finding natural pauses in the document. Or if I used to be this way too, where I used to have to like remind myself, like I'd have to write like, breathe, bit, like you gotta get one in there, okay? Like you got to take a breath real quick, because I'd be doing too much. Julie and I both in the demo debate had to remind ourselves to breathe. We were like, whoa, hold on, like it's been a minute since we've done this, so we gotta take a breath. It happens to the best of us. So find what works for you, but try different things. But drilling allows you to do that. So it allows for you to see like, okay, where am I struggling to breathe? Am I forgetting? Is it easier for me to breathe between cards or in the middle? How can I breathe in the middle without, doing whatever? Drilling is for you to sort of analyze those things about your own speech, so that way you're not figuring those things out or suffering from them in the debates. Sure, it happens. No one has like a perfect, I spoke at like a 30 plus today. Like sometimes it happens and it's immaculate, whatever, but like for the most part, that's what drilling is for you to think about those things. Don't just drill to drill. Drill with a purpose. Also write that down. Drilling with purpose, very important. Don't just be like, well, I have to drill because drilling. What are you trying to get out of it? Are you trying to be clearer? Go into drilling with goals. Am I trying to be clearer? Am I trying to breathe more efficiently? Where am I breathing? How long can I go off of one breath? Ask yourself those questions before you start. You will improve and be better for it. Hello? Looks like my doc froze. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you have any drills that you would suggest for like becoming more word economical?
So my lab did a drill with this a couple days ago, or maybe like sometime during last week. But when it comes to being more word economic, one, it has to do with your own vocabulary. So What words do you naturally use? And no, I'm someone who speaks very wordy, okay? I love hearing myself talk, and so I elongate it in every way possible, okay? Love to gossip, love to be detailed, all the jazz, okay? So what I would do is that when you're writing blocks, writing tags, just get all of your ideas out on the page, okay? Because you're working with new information, you're learning new things. So just get everything you think out on the page. Then go back and eliminate all unnecessary words, summarize the cards or pick all of those things out, and then just do that until you have like the most efficient phrasing. But also, remember when it comes to good speaking, not every judge wants, like, you know those cards that are cut that are just like, U.S., NATO, Sino, relation, equal, war, like, those cards sound like ass and are not super persuasive. And it's like, yes, I get it, they are the most efficient, right? Like, tag says U.S. war, or like war equal extinction. And you're like, okay, sure. So like, yes, in some instances that's helpful, but don't sacrifice, I don't want to say like storytelling, but don't sacrifice like your voice, your uniqueness, and what makes you you as a speaker for efficiency every single time. It's okay to sprinkle some of yourself in there. Because that's the other thing, is like a lot of judges just get bored because they're hearing the same 1 and C's over again, because again, you're more concerned about being as efficient as so-and-so. Maybe you're more efficient because you have a natural way of speaking, or you're more efficient because you're really good at block writing. It doesn't need to be that your cards look and sound like everybody else's cards. It's okay. Oh, this guy on my team said that my cards were painted. Okay, I'm an artist. Sue me. Okay, I'm sorry. Goddamn. Okay, but so there's a lot of ways to do it, but in terms of like block writing, tag writing, just get everything out there. Don't pressure yourself to be as efficient as possible first time out. Just get it all out there and then go back and find ways to like cut words and make more efficient. Also, some words, maybe they're longer but are easier for you to say, right? If you're putting in a bunch of big words or whatever that you can't pronounce, it's less efficient, not because you use more words, but just because you can't pronounce it. So just also practice, right? Because the more you're saying a thing, the easier it's gonna get out, right? Okay. Channeling your inner top speaker outside of physicality, but in terms of your spirit and your soul. Honestly, this thing takes a lot more practice than the physical part, to be real with you. Being confident in an activity where we are all in competition with one another all of the time, okay? Even at camp, some of you are wigging about, oh my God, if I don't win the camp tournament, okay? Is there a trophy involved? I'm sorry, like it's about learning. L stands for learn, not for lose. So rule number 1. Okay? Being confident in an activity where it's constant competition all of the time, everything is intense, you have to cut the best cards, you have to be the best. What camp did you go to? What backpack did your mom purchase you for Christmas? I don't know, it's intense out here, okay? It's hard to be confident, okay? Especially because how you speak, what you're speaking about, those are all vulnerable things. Sometimes it's easier to try to sound like other people, right, than it is to sound like yourself, because sounding like yourself would require a little vulnerability and then people judging you for it. Literally, a judge is telling you, why'd you phrase it like that? Oh, because I wanted to. Sorry, last time I checked. Now, if you have a strategic reason why I should not do that, fine. But if you're just being an asshole, keep it. Have it, if you will. It's a Jada Pickett's quote. Okay? So rule number 1, when you are finding your style, finding your voice, you need to recognize that there is one universal truth in debate, okay? Truthfully, and I say this about a lot of things, but honestly, maybe the most true of them all. The worst thing that can happen to you in debate is what? You lose! That is literally the only thing that can happen, is you take an L. And some of you are like, Azja, yes, are you not hearing what you're saying? That is catastrophic. Wrong. You're still breathing. You can still get a college degree, or you can still get a job. Everything will be okay. Okay? I promise. The worst thing that can happen is you lose. So why not try a new argument? Try a new way of speaking. Try a new block. Well, so-and-so's not doing it. Okay. They kind of look like they want to die right now because they've had 18 Red Bulls and also no water, and they're crying because their value is only seen about how many debates they win. That sounds sad. It is sad. Well, Azja, I'm a winner. I agree. Trust me when I say I know what it's like to win. I love winning. But I also know how to lose in a way that is strategic and healthy. It is okay to lose. It is natural to lose. You cannot win and win well and win more if you do not know how to lose. Do you know how hard it is to crush someone's confidence when they're already just like, okay, so I lose? I cannot tell you the amount of times some mediocre man has attempted to tower over me and be like, you lost that debate? Did you shower today? What? Why are you in my face? That's a lot. Okay? Look, it's like, it's just being just mean. No, I'm being actually very for real. I know that every single one of you has had an experience where someone is like trying to talk shit on you or about your career or about your record and attempt to create relationality with you. They're like, oh, like shit talking debate, that's what we do. Don't get me wrong. Everyone on the YouTube, the adults are gonna be like, Azja, you talk shit all the time. Of course I do. Okay, sure, it's a fun time. But I'm never making value judgments on someone's worth about whether or not they won a debate. Who cares? Something that my coach, Dr. Harris, my guy, okay, always says to us that there is no MBA for debate. MBA is in like basketball. There is no professional debate league. There is after college, if you choose to do college, which it's okay if you don't want to, totally reasonable. After college, there is nothing else for you, okay? There's no more debate. So some of you are like so convinced, grinding for your life, like the TOC, the TOC, the TOC. Oh my God, if I don't go to the TOC, like I'm worthless. First of all, life hack, a lot of the directors of college debate do not care how many bids you have. So if you're just like out here being like, oh my God, this like white man that they have 1 million of has like 18 TOC bids. I promise you, they do not want or need another one. Okay? Sorry to my white men, I'm not adding you. I'm just saying everything will be okay. You are structurally still gonna be okay. Okay? But it's important to recognize that it is okay and natural to lose. If you do not accept that truth, you cannot improve because you are more worried about what other people think about you than enjoying the process and getting from losing what you should, which is new skills, how to improve, where you need to improve. So I'm sure all like those of you that went to the judge adaptation lecture or the lecture about post rounding, it is impossible to get improvement out of those situations if you are just so pissed or like distraught that you've lost. It is natural. When you've accepted that truth, it also makes winning a lot more fun because you're like, oh man, that strategy that should not have worked, it worked! Oh my God, everyone was talking so much shit and who cares because I won this debate. I love that for me. It means that you're innovating more and you're having more fun with your arguments because you're not reading the same dry shit over and over again because, well, this is the only thing we know how to win. Wrong. Why is that true? Sure, it may be the only thing you know how to win now, but why not expand? Why not do more? Why not research more? You know what I'm saying? I love that for you. We're at the Dartmouth. We love research, okay? Second major key. Fake it until you make it. It is okay not to be confident or to not know how to be. Learning how to lose with grace and to win with grace, okay? Sometimes when you're a winner, you're an asshole, okay? Fair enough. I've had those moments too. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing you. But on some real, right, it's a hard thing to learn. It is hard to learn how to be confident and be confident with kindness and all of the things. It is difficult because we're in a society that tells us you need to be confident and also mean and rude and whatever. Or in order to be confident, you have to put other people down. Incorrect. Okay? Fake it until you make it. Even if you are wigging, okay, you're having a full-blown meltdown, it's okay to take a deep breath and be like, am I going to make it through this speech? Who's to say? However, I do know that I know what I'm talking about. And I did not spend all of this time in the night, in prime time, if you will. I did hear about that, Michaela and Stupex laugh. I did not spend all this time in prime time, okay, cutting these cards to then sit here and, shit talk myself and be like, I don't know what I'm saying. What? No. What do we cut all these cards for? If not to speak about them and to speak about them well. Right. So fake it until you make it. I gave this rant lecture to my group last night with a few passerby, okay? But other cardinal rule of faking it until you make it is also recognizing that almost everyone else in debate is also faking it until they make it. or are thriving off of other people's false sense of confidence or security. And it's like, Azja, we did not think this was a psychoanalysis lecture, fair enough. But what I am saying is that everyone struggles with confidence all the time. People know what it's like to be insecure. Everyone struggles with it. You are not alone in that. If you can accept and acknowledge those things, okay, and I'm not trying to sound like a Dare commercial, but it's just like, if everyone is in your same position, so why not try to just worry about you, do your own thing? Again, I don't know why anyone would want to sound like mediocre, insert basic team here. Well, Azja, they have so many bids. Okay. But also, like, is anyone having fun watching them? Okay? Which, side note, the more fun your judge has watching you, okay, more likely you are going to win. Or the more likely they're going to spend in the post round telling you how you can improve because they want to see you improve. They have a vested interest in your success because you're not basic. They're like, wow, this team was so fun and kind and funny. And they did the argument in a fun new way. Or this card was hilarious. Or this tag, it was funny. And not just nuclear war equals death. Okay? This was a good time and I enjoyed it. Judging is monotonous. Okay? It drags on. But that said, this is the cardinal rule I said to my group last night, which is that at the end of the day, similarly, right? Losing, part of the game. It's the worst thing that can happen to you. But that being said, you also have to recognize confidence thing. Everybody can catch a body. Everybody can catch an L. So this whole like, holy F, tab room has sent us into the shadow realm. We're debating this team. They have like a gajillion LD bids. Okay. Okay. What are we gonna do? And you start throwing shit, you're like, might as well go home. What? Did you not come here to win, to debate, to challenge people? Did you not come to compete with the most academically brilliant? You were all brilliant, so much more brilliant than like infinite other insert students here, okay? For a lot of reasons, but aside, okay? You have to recognize everybody can catch an L. It does not matter how long they've been doing it, okay? I will never forget my first upset, okay? I'll never forget that. Man, the high I was riding, yo. I was on life, okay? It was lit. Everybody can catch an L. You work hard, you went to camp, you grind, you cut cards, you know about IP. Sure, you're still learning, everybody is. So why does you being at any certain point in your journey mean that you don't deserve to win a debate? Any set of conditions can happen. Maybe it's the right judge. Maybe it's you cut this new card. Maybe they make a mistake. Who knows? But it's not a fluke. You do deserve it. Anybody deserves to win because isn't that what the framework debaters say? It decides a winner and a loser. Everyone should be able to win 50% of the time. Ain't that what y'all say? So that being said, everybody can catch an L. At the end of the day, you should never be going into a debate doubting whether or not you deserve to win, that you deserve to be there. Because when you do that, you are decking your own confidence, your own belief that you deserve to win, deserve to be there, or that you deserve to improve. No one deserves to win just because of who they are, or what school they go to, or how many bids they already have. Did you earn this next one, though? No, incorrect. Okay? All of you deserve to win, and are winners, okay? You just have to unlock it, okay? Questions about this? We're coming up on 56, so I want to leave time for questions, thoughts, any sort of, Azja, what about this insert situation? Dialogue, confidence. Are we feeling what I'm saying? Are we registering? It is so sad to me, as someone who came from a very small program, no one knew who I was, coming into college and being like, they were like, what is this girl's deal? Like, you were talking mad reckless to some of these seniors that we've known for a long time, and I was like, I'm sorry, is this not debate? Is this not a place of deliberation? Is this not a place where we ask questions? I'm sorry, who are you? What are we doing? I'm not saying be rude, but I am saying that it is rude that they don't know who you are. Okay? And it's not about literally if that's true or not, it's about if you are walking with that confidence. Who are you? If you don't have a sense of self-worth, self-appreciation, like I deserve to be here, I deserve to be known, my arguments deserve to be prepped, okay? Why aren't you scouting my wiki? Why am I tweaking looking at your basic cap K? Okay? Why? Is it really that much better than yours? Is it really something that different that you've never seen it before? Probably not. Okay? So those are my cardinal rules of confidence. Okay? L stands for learn, not for lose. It is the only bad thing that can really truly happen to you in terms of debate as like an activity. Obviously there are external factors. Okay? But it is truly the worst thing. So if that is the case, why not try something different? Why not try to just have fun and do your best? Okay? Why stress yourself out about, again, a bunch of mediocrity? And just get better at your craft. Last side note, and then I'll ask questions again before I let you go, is just like, dude, like, at the end of the day, like, debate is what you make of it, and it is about putting in what you want to get, like, what you put in is what you get out of it. So all of your effort and all of your vibes and all of your things will come back to you tenfold if that's what you're worried about. But you cannot ever be worried more about someone else's career and if you are like them, because that means you're putting more energy into them and their career than you are into yourself. Thinking about others and where they are in their career or whether or not they're better than you trades off with you improving. So yes, it's good to help your teammates. It's good to help them improve, but that's a collective effort. If you're putting energy into someone on another team who is constantly being like, well, I'm better than everyone, and I have 18 bids, and rah, 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 because I know those people exist, because they exist in high school and in college. They exist everywhere. They exist in the workplace. They exist at the park, whatever. Okay? Is giving them more energy that they do not deserve. Azja, this is corny. Okay? But you're not doing it. I promise you, if you implement these things, you will walk a little taller. And then you will be breathing deeper from your gut. Because you have good posture. That's motivated and strengthened by confidence. Okay. That is channeling inner top speaker. There's another iteration of this on the web if you feel like I missed something or whatever. But it's basically the same. You talk better when you walk better. Act like a winner because you deserve to win. It doesn't matter if you've won things before. Being a winner is about having a winner's mentality, i.e. I will work to win. Doesn't mean I will win all the time, but I will win when it matters. Majors of keys. Any questions? No. Yeah, you the best. No, okay, but you have lab at 11, so find your labs. So you have lab for an hour before lunch. But thank you for coming to my iteration.